Hi everybody, today we're going to be working on a beginner lesson today with someone who's never played tennis. I have MyLing with me today and we're going to try to see how we can kind of bring her through the progressions. I've brought 3 different kinds of balls with me today. So I have the red dot, I have the orange dot, and I have the green dot ball. So we're going to see how much she can control the ball and how much she can do. We're going to evaluate her a little bit to see what she does naturally, and then we're going to see what we can do to help her improve. MyLing, we're going to start first with a little bit of rallying, what we call rallying, okay? But because we have these balls, we're not going to start on the backcourt. We're going to start inside the boxes first. So we'll cut the court in half. This box will be your box. This box will be my box. And we'll start both of us on our white lines. And our goal is simply to kind of start by just passing the ball to each other a little bit. And I just want to see how you play naturally before I give you any sort of tips, because maybe you already know how to do some things that I don't need to teach you. Bounce the ball, you pass it to me. Yep, give it a little drop, a little pass. Oh, it's okay, I got balls too. We can start with mine, so here we go. Like that. That's perfect, and that's just kind of just to start. Let's just kind of pass it like that to feel, okay? Very good. Okay, it's okay. Very good. The biggest challenge to start is always going to be the perception of the next ball that's coming. So to hit one, it's going to be okay. Then all of a sudden there's another one coming and a third one coming. So you got to have to make sure that between each shot, you kind of have a good ready position. There we go. So the goal in tennis, when you're waiting, your eyes want to see when they're going to be hitting the ball. So at the moment the ball hits my racket is the moment that you already start trying to make a decision on, should I turn to prepare for my forehand? Should I turn to prepare for my backhand? What shot's coming?
So not when it hits.
No, because
when the ball hits from here.
Because here it's getting late now.
Oh, okay.
So by the time the ball's coming here and you're still trying to think, you know, what do I do to hit this ball? You haven't decided forehand or backhand.
Okay.
It creates a lot of things to do at the last minute.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because when I decided, I missed it already.
Yeah, so let's try to see if you could decide to turn on the forehand side or backhand side when I hit. Okay, so start on that service line a little bit back here on the white line. You're facing me in the ready position, okay? You don't know if it's that side or this side. And we won't even, you know, the classic swing that you see on TV where you see players like swinging full swings. Let's not start like that. Let's start with just little half swings to start, just to feel it. Okay, so ready position. Okay, good. Yes. And always let that ball bounce because you have time for it to bounce. Just make sure you're turned. Good. And just get under the ball. Let's get it up a little bit. Perfect. Good. Okay, we got 3-ball rally. This is a good start. So you guys know why I teach tennis. I don't just teach tennis to coach high-performance players, but I teach tennis for that moment also where someone gets super excited about hitting a ball. That's really fun too. So catching the ball and then pushing the ball. Yeah, good job. Don't forget your ready position between the strokes. Okay, we got rallies going. We're starting to already play tennis. This is good. Biggest problem in tennis, I think, is the racket down like this between balls. See a lot of players in the parks kind of waiting for the ball like this. I think it's really important to keep your racket in the middle in front so that it's much easier to go 50% this way or 50% this way. If I'm here, the ball goes there. By the time I come back to the center and go there, I've already lost a fraction of a second. Okay, so always in the middle. Okay, very good. Okay, let's start our first exercise. The first thing we took a look at was the ready position. And we saw a little bit in the beginning, you had the famous racket down. We see a lot of different waiting positions in tennis. But you're starting to have the better look where the knees are starting to be a little bit bent, so you're kind of ready to push off and move to go get the ball because there is a lot of running. Your racket is in the middle now, so you have a 50-50 chance to prepare on both sides. And we looked at your forehand preparation, and it started to be able to prepare and organize yourself, and you were able to get rally balls. there's a part of the swing that we didn't really look at, that we could look at, and it's kind of more so just the follow-through part of it. So now we're just kind of touching it. We want to see what it feels like to control it, but maybe now we want to see what it feels like to really let it go. So you're going to be there, you're going to set up, and we're going to do the same thing we started with before with the balls bouncing, and you're going to see if you can get the swing to continue. Good. And let's say you wanted to keep the racket going, and then you're going to kind of finish the swing, and over here you're just going to catch your racket. Perfect. For the ball to kind of start to create a bit of topspin, there needs to be a part where it brushes a bit. So when it's going to hit the ball, and you're going to start to brush it going up, and you're going to finish your swing here. What's that going to do? It's going to make the ball go up a little bit. It's going to make it turn a little bit. And the more it's going to turn, the more it's going to fall back in the court. So sometimes you hear beginner players say, I hit too hard. It's impossible to hit too hard because the pros hit the hardest and their balls stay in the court. And they stay in the court because of topspin. So you'll just want to feel like, you're scratching it, you're rubbing it a little bit. It's making it turn. And those RPMs on the ball is what's going to make it fall back in the court. And I'm going a little faster, the ball might fly. But if I do it, and I swing it, and I finish my swing, well, in that case, the ball will start to drop. Okay, so I like that. Good question. So back foot, in order for the hips to kind of be able to get through the shot, you want to pivot the back foot. So when you pivot that back foot, it's going to allow your hips to get through. Now, for anybody watching right now, beginner tennis, you start with the basics. You're not going to show someone how to hit like a pro to start. And I think this is really important. We see a lot of videos out there these days where you have a lot of people that are showing people who have never played to hit exactly like the pros. We're just trying to put some fundamentals in place and give you a bit of rhythm so you don't get hurt. This is the key. Here. Yeah. Left arm back in front. And we'll just see if you can kind of get this part going where it kind of finishes a little bit. How'd that feel? Good. Feel good? Okay, it was good. It was a very good swing. Let's try it again. Okay, very, very good. The only thing I would say now is to start, let's keep it with this low speed. So that was a pretty fast speed. Okay. I know it felt good.
Oh, I didn't know how to control my speed yet.
Okay, so do we go a little bit like, actually I think the best way to feel it would be, can you do me one slow one, one medium one, and your fastest one, just so we can find the medium speed? Okay. So really slow motion. That ends up probably becoming the medium speed, but that's good. Okay. Your medium speed is? Okay, and your full speed is? She was really excited for full speed. Okay, now, which one was the easiest to hit? The first one. And the first one was, for me, your medium speed. Because the last two kind of resembled each other. Okay. So medium speed, really, really, or slow to medium. I think it's going to be even better. And now you start to see that the swing starts to have a little bit more something. But there's something we got to maintain in our minds. The ball needs to fall in the blue court. Okay, so why does it fly? Why does it fly? This is a really good question. I'm sure a lot of beginners out there want to know. One of the main reasons your ball is flying right now is because you're opening up the angle of the racket. You'll see the pros sometimes back here, keep it in your hand. It'll be closed a bit. And as it gets in front, the racket becomes square with the ball. Okay, and with the racket being square, then you're good. Then you're going to have a ball that can go pretty much in the court. Once you get under it, you're going to have already opened your wrist also, so you're going to lose a lot of your power. Okay, so already we see that the swing's looking good. I want to back you up a bit because the swing looks good, and I don't think it's so much the technique, but more just your distance right now. So let's back you up a bit. Okay, and same swing from here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be perfect from there. Rackets ready? Okay, good. Left arm's ready? Good. Knees are bent? Good. Okay, keep your eye on the ball. Make sure you really watch the ball hit the center of your strings. It's okay because you see now the distance though, it kept the ball on the court. So you would be able to rally with that ball. Watch your ball good. Don't swing too hard. I feel like sometimes you want to swing it too hard. Just smooth. Good. So 1, 2. You're here. 1, 2. Really smooth. Don't try to try to make sure you're the boss of the racket without holding it too strong. Just make sure the racket's not going. Don't let it go too much. It's good. Good swing. Okay, again, just going to keep the feeling of the eyes on the ball. Yep, making good contact like that. The sound to me is really good because there's no frame on it. Like when you hear,
Right.
I think even in your arm and everything, it kind of feels not so good. At the end, if you're here, just try to continue so that we can get the muscles programmed to finishing a little bit more of the racket naturally. Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so you're so right on what you said before. It's maintain your mindset on this part. Keep all your focus there. And once the ball's gone, if you realize that you're not turned, then just let it go naturally. Don't try to do it all in one shot. Not too bad. And then you come back to ready position. Good. And as I'm going to have you here, I'm going to want you to just start feeling like, yeah, exactly. Like you're starting to feel a little bit of rhythm. So it starts to feel like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So 1 is going to be this. 1, your preparation. Then the ball bounces is 2 and you hit is 3. So we added 1, right? Before we were doing 1 and 2. The only thing I'm adding to you is the preparation. So you prepare 1, you hit. You went fast though, huh? The ball has to bounce first, so make sure let it bounce. 2 and then 3. So 1, 2, and 3. We go again. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. We got to keep it going a little bit just to feel some rhythm, okay? Ah, that was good. You come back to your ready position. 1, 2, and 3. Very good. One more time. 1. Okay. So let's talk about the grip again quickly. The importance of, there's many different ways to grip. There's lots of little angles to the racket. There's 8 total. And each one of these represents a different kind of grip that will give you different kinds of spins. When I start with beginners, we start with the basics. We start with grip number 1, which is the continental grip. It's straight, it's neutral. It's not going to give you much topspin. It's going to allow you to slice and kind of hit flat to start with. And that's kind of what we want to be able to do because we want to be able to rally and get some exercise to start playing tennis. That's kind of the ultimate goal to start with. Once you master the continental grip, then there's 1 over, which is the Eastern grip. There's 1 over more, which is the semi-Western. And there's 1 more, which is the Western grip. Now, you'll see this more on people playing on clay that have a lot of balls above their head. And it's the only way their racket can be in the right angle at impact. But when we play on hard courts, it becomes a little bit harder to deal with lower balls with those kind of grips. So you'll see North American players with a little bit more semi-Western and Eastern grips because the impacts are a little bit around here and here.
Why do you hold your racket with your index higher?
Okay, so my most useless finger, if I had to give one away, I'd give this one away. It's the one that does the least amount of work on my racket, except at the moment that I make impact, I squeeze that finger, which helps bring up the racket head itself. Okay, but it needs to be very relaxed because that way the racket can drop a little bit. If it's too tight, it stays up. So once you drop, it goes down. Do you feel that pressure? Like say your racket's like this right now. If I let go a little bit on my grip, it kind of drops like that. So put just in front of you here. And if you let go just a bit of your pressure, yeah. You see that difference there? So that's really, really important because if you're really tight like this, then it's going to be hard to hit the ball when it's here. So the racket's got to be able to drop down to get that little flicky part. Okay, but these are things that you'll develop with time. These are not things that we learn in class 101. Okay, good? I think we could do 5. Okay, you ready? Okay, we got to rally. Are you in the ready position? Okay, good. Come back. Very good. Excellent. Push the ball a little bit deeper. Yes, very good. Go back. Very good. Very, very good. Now, excellent, excellent, excellent. We're able to rally from the baseline, which is a good sign. one thing you have to understand is you have to always come back in tennis. So if the ball brings you to your left, you must come back near the center. That way you don't get stuck with any balls in your feet after. There's a lot of mistakes in tennis. Even the best players make tons of mistakes. Good. Very, very good. Excellent. You told me you were a beginner. I don't believe you. Okay. So today was the first day that MyLing experienced the forehand. And as a beginner, I think you did a really good job. We learned a lot of stuff in a very short period of time, but ultimate goal always was to be able to rally. You know, there's a lot of technical information out there, and I like to give the least amount of technical information sometimes in order to just get into the rally, get into playing tennis and start having fun. And then the rest of the stuff, year after year, you will learn how to kind of add stuff to your game and everything. So good job today on your first lesson, and we'll see each other for the next lesson.